So the big question is this: how do small businesses like yours, who feel like you're doing all the right things and going to all the right events, reach the federal buyer in a way that helps you win more contracts? That is the question, and this is the place to get your answers. My name is Neil McDonnell. Welcome to the GovCon Chamber of Commerce. So let's move on to understanding the process. And to me, it begins with the funnel and understanding just the large pool of vendors the federal government deals with. In the federal market, if you use sam.gov and dsbs, there's 300,000 small businesses that are actively selling to the federal government. And when I say active, it means they're registered and their profile's up to date. Half of those probably have no revenue at all with the federal government. That's a separate challenge we're trying to do. But when the buyer comes in, that's what they see. And they need to shortlist that 300 down to 10 or 20 vendors that they can evaluate and decide whether those vendors can solve the need the government has as they try to accomplish the mission. So, you look at the funnel and you have the all businesses. The first step that they do is they type a keyword. And let's say medical testing, they come in, or pharmaceutical. They'll type the keyword in, and from the results, from that search, they'll get rid of 80% of the vendors out there. So the keyword gives them a much smaller list. When they get the results back, they look at the next thing is the capability narrative. The capability narrative is this elevator pitch, or something you might say at a Thanksgiving dinner or cocktail party and networking event where you say, you answer the question of what do you do? That capability narrative is a generic high-level way of describing what you do. They look at that for two things. Do you have one? And then does it match what they're looking for? So say they search medical testing, or in fact, say they're searching testing, profile comes back and they read it and they go, oh, this is all about pharmaceutical. That's not what we're looking for. We were looking for software testing. Now they need to get better with their keyword search, but it's a way for them to quickly balance whether Neil's company fits their need. And if his description in that narrative doesn't point that direction, they go, okay, you're swiped left or right or whatever it is. And you're off the running, and we continue on down. The next thing they look at the very bottom of the DSBS profile is your past performance or experience. And down there, you can put in anything you want. I'll talk about it in a minute, but basically they're looking to see, does this company have the experience related to what that keyword was and the capability narrative is describing? It doesn't have to be all federal government. It could be anything, could be commercial. They just want to know, are you experienced at doing that? The last one that they look at is the website. So say you're coming all the way down and you're, they look at the profile and they say, this is a good profile. They want to click on the website to do additional market research on this company. Let me go take a look at their website. Maybe I'll reach out to them now. And so when you think about this funnel, now I want to show you what Michigan looks like. Inside of Michigan has 5,200 businesses. Of these 5,200, 60% of them have no keywords at all. That means they're invisible to the federal buyer. This is the reason I'm in Michigan. I'm out here in DC. I have no particular tie at all to Michigan, but I'm committed to going around the country to say, darn, this one problem I wish people would have told us small businesses. And you'll find out more about this in a minute, but the reason people have no keywords or missing keywords is because it's not a required field. When we stood up our company and registered in sam.gov, we just filled out the basics and keywords wasn't there. And so as you can see, that's one of the first vetting ways a buyer is doing market research. So 60% of Michigan businesses are virtually invisible to the federal buyer. When you continue down, 70% are missing capability narratives, just no capability narrative at all. So you understand this, right? 7 out of 10 companies are just pushed off to the side, and I'm going to look at these 3, but I need 20. It's like, that's fine. Then I'm just going to get enough companies, let's say 100, and 100 will get me 30 good companies that have a capability narrative. Same thing as you come down, the experience. Almost nobody puts in their experience either because they haven't followed back up, or they're worried about competitors seeing their information, which are all misunderstandings, because the reality is I can look in your, I can do my own research on the internet, learn all about your company. So it's not that big of a deal. But No, many people don't have the experience, but the worst one for me is the website. 75% have a missing or broken website. This is a fix that takes 2 seconds, 2 minutes, right? Because of the internet, but it takes 2 minutes to fix, and all of a sudden you're potentially in the running.